Why then do we have these situations where corporate governments sometimes, or organizations, don't seem to be operating properly in terms of corporate governance? I think for me one of the biggest reasons is the whole question of consequences. If you look at organization, you create a board, you have a management, but what happens when things don't go the right way? What happens, for instance, let's say when there's a fraud? And the difference, and maybe that is the difference between the private sector and the public sector, because in the private sector, when you have those shortcomings, corporate governance ensures that there is prompt consequences, that the issue is dealt with in a prompt way. Otherwise, there's no point of having corporate governance. And that is why, oftentimes, there has been lots of conversations about maybe we need to get a lot of our people from the private sector to the public sector. Maybe they're going to do a better job if you put them in the public sector, where we think things have not been done as well as they should. But you know what? We have got very many examples of you move people from private sector to the public sector, and they actually don't do well. Why? Because when in a sense, we have all seen that I don't think the private sector people are any better than the public sector people. The difference is that in the private sector, we've got very strict governance. And therefore, when you just move people from private sector to public sector, where maybe the governance may not be as strong, what we find is that these people fail. These people actually, we start wondering, what has happened? And this is a person who was delivering very strongly in the private sector. So the important thing is not even about individuals. It is ensuring that the consequences about misgovernance are timely and are and the consequences are very strict.